pretty's not showing. Okay, well, I think this is the best I can do. Okay, let's see if this works up here. Okay, where are we? Where are we? Oh, what? Oh, should we have a poll? What should I do a poll on, you guys? It says I could do a poll. What should we poll? We should poll, I don't know. I just have to try this. Do you think I want to do you think Warnock will win? But here, do you think that Jack Smith, how Hollywood is that name, will indict? There we go. Let's see if that works. Okay. I don't want to see that anymore. Okay. Live chat. I'm sorry, I'm distracted by, I can't see this anymore. Darn it. Can we please hide that? I'm sorry. I should be done. How are you guys doing? How are you? Oh gosh, where did you go? I'm sorry, the poll is covering up my chat. I've missed you guys so much. How are you? I've just really, really missed you. I wanted to be totally super healthy when I would see you guys again. I got sick, long story short. I'll tell you in a minute. But I didn't want to be nasally either. But this just, the timing, it just dragged on and on. You know, all these fixed signs, fighting with each other, trying to get rid of a cold. It just took forever. But anyway, I'm back. I'm good. I really also had to get out of this Scorpio weather because this, the eclipses really hammered my chart, being a Scorpio myself, with the South Node over my Sun, which means like you're releasing stuff. And just, you guys know, this weather has just been so wonky, crazy. So I'm going to do my best this evening to catch you guys up on like the key points from the full moon, the quarter moon, and as we head into this balsamic moon, and then just some other thoughts that I have had that have been standing out at me because I don't want to forget. But I have really missed seeing you guys. Hi, Rosa, Michelle, and Ellen, and Connie, and love Mother Earth. Hi, Kim C, and Lisa, and Purple Sky. Yes, happy Thanksgiving. And Canada, you're doing, was that last month? You guys do your Thanksgiving, I think, a month earlier than ours, I think. Sorry if I missed it, you guys. Hi, Gretchen, Cartomancy, Bonnie. Just joy. Moderators, love seeing you guys. Hi, Marie. Hi, Rob D. Apple, yes, so much is happening. So much is happening. And don't you guys find yourselves going to a lot more other places to get the news these days? It's like, I just feel like I can't get anything relevant from the news, right? Kim C, ears ringing like crazy. My ears just started to ping, and I just started having loud music playing in my head. The past week we've had Fall Follies, the first time my daughter's done it. It's basically a musical based on, The Wizard of Oz, Wicked, and The Wiz. So I have just had that happy music just going through my brain this whole time. It is just so much fun. Hi, Charlie Smith. Hi, NH Mountain Dancer. Purple Sky, so much going on. I know. Okay. Yes, Electra, mainstream media is terrible. Yeah, and so speaking of media and news and the internet, whoops, and this is going to relate to Tim Ryan. And you know what? Actually, I'm just going to, do we want this on or off? What works better for you guys? I'm just going to jump into this really quickly here that I wanted to comment because I really thought that Tim Ryan was going to win that Senate seat in Ohio. But as we got closer and closer to that election, especially election day and that full moon eclipse, first of all, it's like crap. It's like finally the GOP got to surge in our Pluto return because in all their evilness, this is where they're most comfortable with their chart, with the new moon eclipse and the full moon eclipse, etc., etc. So they had an edge cosmically. But Tim Ryan, I really thought was going to win just by virtue of our first Pluto return that we had in February. I've talked about this a lot this year, but just real quick, the United States, the 2022, this year is the year of the United States Pluto return. This entire year is in flux, as if you can't even tell. It's just, it just feels like we could go one way or another way, but nobody knows the outcome because we're in this full year Pluto return. When we were founded in 1776, Pluto, the planet of life and death, transformation. I mean, hello, look at how much we've had to transform in this year, but in the years prior, things have died off. New things are growing, like our new leadership, like in Michigan with Mallory. Stick a pin in that too. Oh, Alito's going down. But anyway, 246, 248 years, Pluto returns to the point where it originally was. Pluto is about destruction. Donald has very destructive tendencies. He is his own worst enemy. It's like he is his own worst blind spot. And so it's like he gets really aggressive to charge forth and do something with his Mars, with his secrets. But then he goes and destroys everything and then stomps in his own mess, and it's just overkill. Pluto for him, okay? So that's like the nature of it. So literally the United States was reborn this year. We have been caught up with our old chart since 1776 in certain areas that have been very aggravating, like trying to get something done. Takes forever. And the GOP playbook, the Pluto return, punctured a hole through their playbook. It's done. It has fizzled. Everyone is knows what's going on. And they keep trying to get something else going. It's just not gaining traction. Except for this month of November, Scorpio season, they kind of had a leg up on that. I was unhappy about that. But here's the thing. Our Pluto return, getting back to Tim Ryan, I thought for sure he was going to win, but I hadn't looked at the transits way back when I thought he was going to win this last spring. But in that chart, in the eastern horizon, that had 23 degrees Cancer on the ascendant. This is from February 20th. And we had, I think, Aries 7 degrees up here. This is what energizes you and gives you life. 23 degrees Cancer. Tim Ryan's sun is exactly conjunct the rising sign of the United States. Oh, I mean, the rising sign of our Pluto return. But I didn't look totally super close to it. There were two things. I think his sun had just risen over the horizon, so it slipped into that 12th house, that area of like secrets and hidden enemies. It's like he was surging, and then whoops, it's like, what happened? Like, there's a lot of things we can't see, but we know that's going on. Well, what happened was, I believe it was the day that he conceded, and it was election day, I believe. Dark Moon Lilith, hello, was at 23 degrees Cancer. We've talked about Dark Moon Lilith a lot. This is the pain of the feminine, the abandonment. All of us as Americans who believe in democracy, we're watching this race, and it was such a gut punch. It was such a, I mean, can you just remember how tangible that felt, that he lost? It was just like traumatic. It was devastating. It hurt so badly. Dark Moon Lilith was conjunct his sun, and when I saw that, I was like, well, there you go. His sun slipped in, was in the area of hidden enemies, secrets, don't have a blind spot. Dark Moon Lilith is right there, okay? And then, like, all that stuff was kind of nebulous, but then here's the thing. Dark Moon Lilith moved to 24 degrees Cancer. Now it is clearly in the first house, the ascendant. You can see it, you can feel it. This is what gives you life and energy. And when Dark Moon Lilith, the pain, moved into the first house, or at 24 degrees Cancer, Donald announced he was running. It's like you can hear all the howls and the scream. I mean, how freaked out was everybody when he announced that he was doing that? And then, and then the whole Twitter thing with Elon Musk. USA Mercury is 24 degrees Cancer. So this Dark Moon Lilith descended upon us. Donald announces he's running. USA Mercury. This is the internet. This is digital communications. Dark Moon Lilith descends upon USA natal Mercury. And we're all outraged and screaming. And the pain of being on Twitter, it's very painful. I've locked my account for some time now. I don't think I'm getting hammered as badly with the trolls. That's a whole nother story. But this 24 degree mark is a very vulnerable place from the year of 2020. It's just like it all came back again. But we, the people, we're taking care of some things, okay? So that was one thing I definitely wanted to talk with you guys about with Tim Ryan. How are you guys doing? Oh, thank you, Dr. Nancy. Love my energy now. Yeah, I had to clear up. I just really, this eclipse was very unfriendly for me. I can't even describe it. Hi, James. Hi, Pammy. Tarot Love Community, I miss you. I hope to catch up with you soon. Yay. Yes, Dr. Nancy, the veil has been lifted. Okay, I'm going to look at this. Okay, so far, you guys, on your poll, do you think that special counsel will indict? 98% of you say yes. 2% say no. We're going to talk about him, too. And that is really fantastic. Okay, so, hi, you guys. Holly Coleman's a newbie on something. It's the first time in her life she's in this role. Holly, good luck. I'll check with you later, see what's going on. Hello. Okay. Should we just go back and talk? We'll go back and talk about that too while my brain is kind of clear. So, the last time I saw you guys was November 1st. And I believe we were coming into our quarter moon. I was nervous because I was having my birthday. So basically what happened, and I traveled far away, not far away, but like 300 miles because I wanted a new solar return chart. Because if you have felt the energies for the past, 2-3 days, it's just been kind of weird and cloudy, this intense, all this Scorpio energy. In my location, I was going to be locked into that. It just looked like someone drowning, basically, because there was just so much water. And then my chart was just pouring water and toxins and inflammation and just like freak accidents, just crazy stuff all over the chart. And I'm like, I got to get out of here. But I was back home Friday evening to have dinner with my family, and because my Neptune was super active. Neptune is that planet that it has to do with, illusions. It can really kind of muddle judgment and kind of make things kind of hazy and confusing. We go out to dinner, and I'm like, oh, I'm just going to grab some of your hollandaise sauce and put it on my fish. What? I cannot have gluten. There was gluten in that. And of course, I felt miserable that night. And then the next day, I was like, oh, I shouldn't have eaten that. It took me like over a day to figure out what the heck happened. Well, then I start getting sick. And I'm like, yeah, I knew I was going to get sick, but I changed my location, la, la, la. But here's the thing. When I was so sick for so long, I had chronic sinus infections for I don't know how many years. When I went off of gluten, my sinus infections finally cleared up. I mean, we had some mold in the house, but it was manageable. So I knew I'm a little nasally still, that until I was totally healed from this last gluten whatever, that's when my sinuses would clear, and that's when I would be able to see you guys. And I knew the spell would break by the time the sun was in Sagittarius like today. And doesn't today just feel so much better? This is really cool, you guys. I know the past month has been difficult. Scorpio unearthed a lot of things. It was making us all really crazy because it's just, you could just feel all the stuff going on, but you couldn't see what was going to, come out of left field. All that work that Scorpio did, let's what did you do, Scorpio? What are some really important things that you did? The traitors, the trees and weasels, the Three of Swords. Do you have anything more about that? The Four of Swords, a lot of things that have been undercover we haven't been able to see. This does have to do with digital. This does have to do with telecommunications. This more stuff. The agreements that were made with the treason and betrayal and software and telecoms and all of those discussions. But these are government discussions too. So that is one big thing Scorpio really worked on. There's the justice system. This is DOJ, yes, and I'm getting but Ginny, but Clarence, but Elite, but Roberts. The justice system was working on all the obstruction, all of the fighting. There's a lot of stuff we don't know about that. Ten of Cups, the Republican Party, gathering they're so screwed, you guys. Judgments on them and the transnational mob. And separating them all. They've got the intel. They've got the intercepts. Oh, and here's Donald's taxes coming in like HIMARS missiles. And everyone involved with that. Here's the thing. When Scorpio works so hard, has done all that work, and it's going to keep working under an eclipse through this cycle. I think our new moon is tomorrow or a little bit later. What Scorpio does is says, hey, look at all this stuff I have. Look at all this stuff I've unearthed. It says, hey, Sag, Here you go. And Sagittarius, full of faith and optimism, the bright spot between Scorpio and Capricorn. Sagittarius says, hey, cool. I'm going to do something with this, with the law. Got it? All that work that Scorpio did that made us crazy this past month is handed off to the law. And what did we find out about today? Hello. What a crappy day for Donald. But the Supreme Court officially approved tax returns to congressional committees. I think we talked about that last time, but I don't know if there was an appeal or whatever. It just took a little bit more time. That came through. The 11th Circuit just ripped Donald's lawyers today about whatever they were trying to finagle. Again, the E. Jean Carroll case is supposed to start today. I think they might have a delay. Those are just 3 things that the Sun and Sag, coming off eclipse, still in a lunar cycle, is picking up the goods. And the prize was special, very special, Jack Smith. I keep wanting to say Pete Smith, but that's the thing. We did all that work. How much stuff did you want to hand over to lawmakers and the justice system? We want to hand all that over, okay? How are you guys doing? Oh boy, do we have some trolls? Yeah, today was a great day. Hi, Pamela, I'm glad to see you. Oh, happy birthday, Rob D and Connie B. Okay. Yes, today was so amazing. Yeah, block that troll. Yes, please. Hit the thumbs up. Okay, so we are going to talk about what happened with Special Counsel Smith and how did that rendezvous get started, because guess what? It has shown up in my teroscopes. Okay, so we are going to have to back up a little bit more. Some things have really caught my, I need to turn on this light. Well, I need more light. I have light. I need some more light. This is just a little bit. What time is it? Okay. Here we go. Donald announces his run. I was laughing. It's not going so well for you guys. I don't think things are going to go well for him at all. This is when he announced it. Remember, I mentioned the Pluto return earlier, February 20th, 2022. Do I have it? Yes, I do. This is the top of the chart, Pluto return number 1. We have the midheaven, Aries 7. Remember, this is where Mallory McMorrow from Michigan, I said she was going to be a leader way back in April. Her asteroid conjunct the top. That's Pluto return. Donald announces his run. Top of the chart, Aries 6. Oops. It's like the Pluto return quashed that. In fact, this is 1 degree over from the 7-degree mark, so it's still in the area of law. So it's like he's announced again, just always pulls the trigger too early all the time. He does this all the time. Pulls the trigger too early. His announcement is stuck in the Pluto return now with the side of the law and your shenanigans overseas, and it goes over the midheaven. The following day, what do we find out? And the next day, doesn't have quite the reception he thought he would, especially from Fox News. So he is just, nothing is going to happen with this. And of course, the astrology cards I drew, it's, of course, all about him. Me, 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 me. Not happening. Okay, that was that. This, when I first saw this, so this was our 3rd quarter moon back on Wednesday, November 16th. I didn't get to do this chart with you guys. I really wanted to do it with you. I do remember the last time I saw you guys, I said that week after the full moon, there's going to be some crazy stuff happening. And oh my gosh, that is where we are. The moon is in Leo. Leo has to do with world leaders. Lots of stuff happened with this chart. When I saw this on the ascendant, the horoscope for the U.S. natal chart has 12 degrees Sagittarius on the ascendant, just like USA's natal chart. And when I saw this, immediately I had a sense of ease come over me, saying, order has returned. And then I'm like, wait, what? Pelosi is, announcing she's not going to run for leadership again? What? Stick a pin in that. And the top of the chart now has 0 degrees Libra. The USA chart has 1 degree Libra. And in the USA chart, this stuff always caused a problem. But it's like we've got some relief there. And Speaker Pelosi has a plan, okay? So this was way back. There goes my throat. This goes back to Wednesday. And I'm like, okay, waiting. What's happening here? This stood out to me here. I drew the astrology card that had the moon, void of course. We're used to seeing this card like when there is a mass, and there was a mass shooting event over the weekend. But usually, it's in our blind spot, the moon, void of course, something gets planned and triggered, and then it's chaos. This is the first, I don't say the first time, but I don't think I've really seen this here for the United States, that the 6th house of public servants is getting ready to pull a fast one or do something shocking. Well, I figured it out because over here, South Node debts, that is Donald's tax returns. His tax returns are all over this. It's been going on for a while. It was very prominent a couple of weeks ago. This was the Scorpio full moon eclipse in Washington, D.C. And dun, 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 did I grab it right here? I have notes all over the place. This is the one thing that I discovered. So this was election day, okay? The only reason why I'm showing you this right now is because that full moon election day ties to Attorney General Merrick Garland on 2 levels. One for January 6th interference. I cannot remember what news we got out about January 6th this week. The election and now the tax returns. At this point, a couple weeks ago, I went back to when Merrick Garland went to Ukraine for the surprise trip, because he went there June 21st. We had a three-quarter moon on June 20th. And I see all these notes. See, the November 8th, midterms. The GOP lost. Oh, this is why. The GOP had such marked losses. Why was that? This election went back to then. Because whatever they're doing, I don't want to say it's interference, but like with the PSYOPs, it all traced back to here. And then when I was asking about special counsel, he's in here as well. So on multiple levels, I cannot even remember the details right now, but this all traced back to when he went to Ukraine. Both special counsel and this election and whatever interference was going on there. And I believe when he came back, there was a time when I said, you guys, my cards went dead, and I said that Merrick Garland was finished. This trip back in June completed whatever he was planning for right now. Let's look at some cards and look at that, okay? How are you guys doing? Whoop. Oh, hi, Linda Foster. How are you guys doing? Okay, let's... You guys, I love Peter... why I keep want to call him Peter Smith again. Jack Smith. His name is John. I love his energy. He just makes it so easy to read. He is so clear. I want to know... Let me get a marker. My fake candle. Oh, I have to go this way. This is what we want to look at. I just want to show this to you guys. I think they were working on tax returns back then. And I know that, you know, Taiwan and Ukraine keep lining up with intercepts and data and evidence and information. I will also tell you that Javanka has been coming in really strong around all this election time too. Okay, so what are we going to look at? We want to look at we have ag, and he traveled with some sort of Nazi hunter, so to speak, to look at war crimes. Yeah, they were looking at other stuff too. So that's where they went, okay? We want to know, what does this have to do with the election? J6, the MALdocs. What else? They went here. We want to know how this all bridges. There's a pause here. Oh, this is what we've been waiting on. This is what we've been waiting on the past 2 months. Because I'm telling you, he was ready to go by July. But this has been like the pause. Yes, part of it is Judge Cannon and all that stuff. But there are other things that are happening. So back in June, they go to Ukraine. Because Ukraine, I'm being told, don't forget Taiwan. What does Taiwan have? I feel like Taiwan and Ukraine, they have some sort of working relationship going on together right now. And Taiwan is helping in this regard, okay? Attorney General, it's like, I'm going to Ukraine. Why are you going to Ukraine? Because I got this. Got to sort out this. I got to sort out this. Why do you need this guy who's a Nazi hunter? I need him because of this. And we're looking at, quote, war crimes. Ooh. Oh, okay. And we're hoping to accomplish that about the election. This is about J6. This is about, the documents. So now, what happened? Okay, why did the GOP lose so badly related to all this stuff? They lost because of this and this. J6 to get this done and this. These documents. I feel like he's like, I think he knows at this time he wants Jack, but it's like he's getting everything cleaned up for him so that they can work like clockwork. But this has been the issue the past couple months since he left that have been a drag. This has been such a drag. Oh boy, look at all these cards. Yeah, loose cannon. Okay. the moon, my card for China, Russia. I cannot forget, I'm sorry, my thoughts are everywhere. I do not want to forget about the G20. Something happened in that meeting between Biden and Xi. Xi immediately went and did like 3 major things, but in my humble opinion, I think Biden like nailed him with evidence. I think Xi knows that they're caught. So, but this reading is about Merrick Garland. He went to Ukraine back in June with that Nazi hunter. They're looking at war crimes, but really it was leading up to the election, J6 and Mar-a-Lago documents, okay? We've got Russia, China, the dream card, the influence in the background. Not only the psyops, but it's like that influence. There was just an article about this, about how they said the Saudis were influencing U.S. foreign policy. That came out. It's like that. And conspired. Okay. Saudi, Russia, China, all of them. Because that's what they really want, is for the U.S. to be an autocratic state. They hate democracy. So, this is what is driving that trip. Foreign influence. I've been saying this over and over. I know people are upset that he has not been indicted for the simple thing with taking the Mar-a-Lago documents. It's not that simple. It's a transnational counter-espionage investigation. This is how big it is, okay? So, Attorney General, I first laid out Ukraine. What's so important about this trip in Ukraine? The King of Pentacles, the King of Data. This could be, yep, Zelensky. Zelensky has all the data, the information, and data on like Don Julio, who, thinks he's the king of money. So we're there because that's where all the riches are. The moneyed information, the data information. Whoo! There we go. The King of Swords. It's not only interference, but Attorney General has something to say about this big secret, the High Priestess, which is what Russia, China does behind the backs all the time with Don Julio. However, our DOJ also has the High Priestess card because they are also doing stuff about the counter-espionage investigation. It's really interesting watching these cards and how they're really playing two sides now. It's very interesting. So that is the primary reason why he's going to Ukraine. And Taiwan is providing backup for the United States with the Ten of Pentacles, with the Dynasty, and China. I don't know what Taiwan is doing, but their intercepts, every single week I do these lunations, it's like a mirror. It's like a reflection. They have all the information. So that's the backup. Attorney General Merrick Garland. Going to Ukraine because my challenge is the Queen of Wands, a different nation's leadership interference. This is usually the Russia and the allegiance our GOP has to the Russia. The Eight of Swords. We are bound up. Oh, no, is this... It's also Judge Cannon. It is also, though, having to maneuver through all the courts and jump through all these hoops and foreign leadership. The Eight of Swords. There's not a lot. There's a lot of frustration. There's not a lot of wiggle room. We know exactly what the path is to get there. And we can't shake the devil off of us. Russia, China, interference, Don Julio. It's just really been a difficult thing to do in such a short amount of time, okay? He brings the Nazi hunter because he is going to help him reveal... Reveal what? What is this reveal? The Six of Swords. Okay, I have wondered if the sun this week has been also showing up like Jared... How, because he's the golden boy for Don Julio, transmitting a lot of things. But we're also looking at war crimes. Because the way these guys support their autocrats, they're freaking war crimes and going against what we're trying to do as a nation. These are the, quote, war crimes that's been put out there. It's been ongoing. That's been a cover up for the 10 of Swords because Russia is done. They're all done. But it's kind of like the interference are the war crimes. It's every other thing they keep putting in. Just a second, sorry. He can't be in here. No. Where's Dan?
Dan's outside. We just held him. He's okay now. Just keep an eye.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Sorry guys, my dog just had a seizure. I'm gonna wrap up this reading and then he's here with me. How you doing, buddy? That's why you were acting like that. I'm gonna wrap this up and then see what needs to be done. Just 1 second. Okay, so anyway, what was I saying? War crimes, we're here. So, Attorney General Merrick Garland went to Ukraine because of these issues. And it was leading to now, with our election, the 7 of Cups. The interference with our elections. Trying to pull back that veil. Wow. And the counts of votes. That's what the interference has been. Who is pinging this? There's someone pinging this. This, I think, is also related to, now my head's going all over the place, but what's going on with Twitter? Also, towers pinging. And a delayed action because there's so much going on. We cannot let them know, give them a clue as to what's going on. Okay? In terms of January 6th, why they went to Ukraine, there's fools. There's people to indict. The Queen of Pentacles also represents like the new nation they wanted to have. Queen of Pentacles, queens are nations based on a transactional type of leadership. That's the other reason why they were there, to get evidence. And then with the MALdocs, the Ace of Swords, the intelligence, I swear to God, the Republican Party has helped with this whole thing throughout all the agencies. And the inners, like even with Secret Service, with the CIA, with the FBI, the inners on who let this happen. Okay? So they're there. This, I'm in Ukraine. What about the election? They're getting more intelligence about our elections. Queens are nations. It is, but it's also our court. I just got the Hague. There is something going, and I did that reading back in January about the Hague, how Nuremberg kept showing up. Back then, I re-listened to it, and it sounded like everything we had for that was going on now, what was going on in that reading, what was leading up to the decision to have special counsel Jack Smith. And then in terms of January 6th, the 5 of Pentacles reversed. So the 5 of Pentacles also, like if you want to think of the Capitol and people can't get in, but this is breaching the Capitol. There's information that they hit, oh, there goes my ear, about breaching the Capitol. There's intercepts abroad and how that was planned. And then the Mar-a-Lago documents, the Hermit. This is guidance through Russia. The Hermit can be a counselor. but also finding out how Russia has guided some of these decisions, okay? So Garland and his Nazi hunter went to Ukraine. Taiwan backed up with the questions that they had, and these were war crimes, to look at the elections J6 in Mar-a-Lago. But this has been the hang-up the past 2 months. The emperor being able to act, because he's like, I'm done. The government is ready to go, is ready to go. Having all this information, the emperor, Hierophant, temperance, this is the law. Putting the law and those pieces together. That's what that is. So, anyway, so you guys, I'm sorry. I have to sign off now. I did not expect that. Thank you so much for coming out. Thank you, moderators. I'm so happy to see you guys. It's been a lot of fun to see you. I will see you soon because we're going to have a new moon in Sagittarius. I don't know when I'm going to do that reading, but we do need to do some new moon wishes and powwows for our new moon in Sagittarius, okay? Thank you so much for coming out. Thanks, you guys. I'm glad that you guys got to catch up together, too. Thank you, Connie B. Yes, thank you. Thank you, Glass Gavlin. Bye, Electra. Bye, Pamela. Dr. Nancy, yes. Yeah, Jack was ahead of it. Yes. Gretchen, yeah, thank you. Yeah, Electra, I know that was short. I have to get going. Okay, we'll talk to you soon. Thank you so much. I know, T-Barb, my dog had a seizure, and I've got to go help and tend to the family, okay? Good night. We'll talk to you later.